Well, hey y'all, Dan here. Thanks for joining me. I'm here in the studio because, well, for one thing, it's just sort of cool and nasty outside. And that's not the full reason, but that gives me a good excuse not to be out there in it. The real reason for being here in the studio is I'm going to share some things with you on some of the technical side of how I am planning to get out and hike the Cherokee Trail. It's a big difference when you have a road map or a GPS for a car and you know point A to point B and you know the roads that get there, or at least the GPS does if you're like me. I don't know that I really know it. I just depend on that device. It's saved me a lot of worries since it has been in. I used to drive with the old map and trying to see where I was going and drive and not kill myself or someone else at the same time. Now with the GPS, it's just great. So that's what I use. That's what I'm going to use on the hike as well, but you got to do it a little differently. Yeah, they're tools. They're tools like All Trails, and it used to be Gut Hook. Now it's called Far Out. These were programs, these were apps that you had on your phone, and you could plug in the trail, especially the popular trails, and it would show you where you were at, and it would give you the trail, and you could just follow it. So if you got lost, then you could get back again. I did that several times when I was hiking through the Smoky Mountains. I remember one time got up early in the morning. It was still dark. I got out to the trail. I'm hiking down the trail and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm coming up on a stream. And I crossed the stream, and the more I thought, I wasn't supposed to come to a stream today. I looked at the map. I knew that where I was supposed to go, and it wasn't a stream that early in the morning. Well, turned out I had turned right when I should have turned left. When I looked at the GPS, it showed me I was going the wrong direction. I'd already gone about 1.5 miles down, so I had to turn around, walk that 1.5 miles back, and then just keep on going north. So I wasted a lot of time. GPS works pretty good. But what happens when you don't have a trail? What happens when there is nothing in the GPS to give you a trail to hike? You have to make one. I'm going to show you how I did that. It may not be the way, but it was how I did it. So come along and join me as we put together and plot out where I will hike on this Cherokee Trail. Okay, there's going to be a few tools you're going to need. You're going to need a computer. You're going to need a smartphone that has the Maps GPS app in it. You're going to need a pencil and paper or pen and paper, and you're going to need some patience. You're also going to need to subscribe to the Gaia GPS.com. They have a free subscription, and then they have 2 paid versions. The free subscription gets you everything that you're going to need in order to plot out this route. The challenge is that if you're going to download it and use it offline, if you're going to use it, the GPS features of it, you will need a paid subscription. I'll share with you what I used as we go through this. Well, let's get started by opening up the GaiaGPS.com on your computer. So when you first log in, this is what you're going to see. You're going to let you choose your plan, and here are the different plans. There's a free app. You get the basic maps. You get the recording activities, the create routes. You know, those things are the basic things that you're going to need. And if you want to get that and then print it off and have a hard copy of it, that's all you need to do. Just go there. But if you want to take and put it on your device like I do, and then use it offline when you don't have a cell signal, this will track just the GPS version of it. If you want to do that, then you do have to have a paid version. They have 2 models here. I just chose the GPS Premium. There's another one that's the GPS Get Outside. It's got a lot more features to it. But I'm just testing this out to see how it's going to work, and is it going to work for me on this trail. So I just started out with the basic Premium, I guess, is their basic app. And then I also downloaded the app onto my phone so that I have 2. And that way I can build the route on the computer, bigger screen, keyboard, easier for me to work with with my old fingers, and then it will automatically sync up to my phone, and I'll show you how that works when I get ready to get out on the trail. you're going to need somehow of telling it where you're at. If you know a street address, you can just type that in. But I didn't know the street address. I knew these points that the friends of the Cherokee Trail had plotted along this route. They had actually put up signs at crossings, known crossing sites. There was a couple of surveyed points on here. And so they graciously gave me that information of where these were at. They had plotted it out on Google Earth. If you click on the information tab on a point, it'll give you the coordinates. It'll give you what the grid coordinates is for that point. So I wrote all of those grid coordinates out along this route. And then to verify it, I loaded it up in the Maps app of my phone and I drove it. And I went out and drove to each site and I found a few things I had to tweak. So I tweaked those coordinates, and then once I had what I felt very comfortable with these were all of the waypoints, the points along the trail, the points that I will connect the dots, if you will, to get my route. Then I could do that. So rather than showing you the trail itself, the Cherokee Trail, which I've already plotted out, I'm going to be going through private property in some of the places, and the landowners, these farmers and ranchers, have given me permission to go across their land. But understand, this is their livelihood. They grow their crops or they have their cattle on this property, and I've been entrusted to go across it. But I don't want to put it out there and just offer their place to anyone who might be wanting to come along and do the same trail. I don't have the right or the permission to do that. So what I have done is I built another trail using the Gaia GPS.com. And this is a trail right here in Independence, Kansas, where I live. It's about a 2-mile trail that my wife and I walk nearly every day around the Riverside City Park. Beautiful park, has a little zoo inside, has all kinds of entertainment. It's all free. And then as you walk around it and you get to the backside of it, there are elk and llamas and buffalo that they have living on the backside of this park. Beautiful place to go, and I really enjoy it. So I just sort of played with this and plotted it out. And what I did, I knew what the street crossing was. I started there, and then I just took my Maps app, and if you look at that, you can put a pin, or if you write in an address, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the GPS there. That's the way I plotted every one of these waypoints, and that's the way I start, is I plot all the waypoints on trail. Every one of these waypoints, and that's the way I start, is I plot all the waypoints on a trail. There may be a better way of doing it, probably is, but this is how I do it. I plot the waypoints, and then once I have the waypoints plotted, I can go back and connect the dots using the track tool. And so I connect them, and when I click on one point and click on the other, the track tool will give me a route between those 2 points. And if there's a known path in that area, it will pick up that and it will plot it. So you can see here it goes up and around the road, and it's going to follow the road. Some places it doesn't. It goes, maybe there's a sidewalk there and it cuts across. But that's the way it works. It's a great tool. And then once I have completely put it together, and you can adjust it, you can name the waypoints what you want to name them. You can name the route, whatever you want to name it, and then you can save it. Once you've saved it, then it synchronizes between your devices. And the cool thing is that if you have Apple and Android, it will still synchronize across both of those platforms. I happen to use Apple, so all of my devices synchronize the GaiaGPS.com. So now that I've done that, I have it on my phone. And all I have to do is bring up the app, and there it is. You can add pictures to this if you want to. It's all kinds of things. If you've used, especially whether it's all trails or far out, if you've used one of those, you know you can add notes to it and others can see it. You can make these routes public or you can keep them private. Depends on what you want to do. So it was a big task. A lot of coordinates to have to type in. It was tedious. Sometimes I would type it and it would throw me up. One time it put me in China. So I had to go back, check that coordinates and fix it. But it's flexible enough to let you do that. Honestly, I tried doing the Garmin. The Garmin Share also has a feature that you can plot out a new trail on the Garmin. But it's challenging. It is not intuitive. I just gave up on it, especially when I found this one. And I think this is probably one of the best hiking GPS tools that I have found, especially if you don't have a hike marked. And that's one of the reasons I have this channel, is to encourage you to get out there, but it's also to give you ways and tools that you can use. If you don't have a trail that's already pre-plotted and you're going to trailblaze, here's a tool. I think I'm ready. You know, I've gone through, I did a road reconnaissance. I shared that in the last two videos. And I did I have met with landowners, and they have embraced this whole adventure and given me permission and supporting me to do that. In fact, several want to walk with me as I go through their property. I'm glad to do that, happy to walk with them. It's just a great thing. So I've done everything I know to do other than packing my backpack, putting it on, getting my wife to drop me off at the Oklahoma state line, and getting out on the trail. But that's next. So join me as we go out and hike the Cherokee Trail here in Kansas. As we go, stay safe, stay healthy, stay on the path, and God bless you.